Hey, I am home sick. I had to come home early today because I have a bad cold. It's horrible. But yet today, I was able to make it to the court hearing today. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get up tomorrow, unless I feel better to go tomorrow. But I'll try to go on Wednesday to catch up. But, yeah, it was an experience. It was actually an experience to actually see the young man in person because he seemed like a calm person. I mean, they had him dressed in regular clothes. He had like a brown suit with a white striped shirt, like brown or dark gray. You know, I was a little far away, so I think it's kind of dark gray, but depending on the color, it kind of looked like dark brown. But yeah, he came in. He sat down. I know you guys know that Mark Diddy, lawyer, is representing old boy. So I guess he has the best defense team. Maybe he has the best defense team. Who knows? Because even though Diddy didn't get fully charged, which they celebrated, his ass is still in jail and he's still a felon. So depending on how you think of Mark, you know, he's still in there. Hi, how are you? How everybody doing? He also has a lot of other lawyers. I don't have their names yet, but I'm going to look it up right now. Give me a second. I'm a little slow today because I have such a bad cold, so I don't know if I have the flu or is it COVID or is it just a bad cold, but I feel horrible. It's only because of y'all, my people, that I that I'm even trying to be here. So I have some videos. When I walk in, I wasn't feeling well, so I felt, I got there really late. Not really late, but late in comparison. Since I'm pressed, I was lucky enough to get inside. They had me stand on the side when I first came in. So there's two lines. There's lines with photographers, the reporters who had the cameras, the photographers. So they asked me, do you want to go inside the court and take notes, or are you filming? I said, no, I'm here to take notes. So they had me stand at the side for a little bit. So I was wondering about that. I'm like, okay, why do they have us? I'm a reporter, and they had also another reporter, a Telemundo reporter there. So I'm wondering why they have us standing there. But they said to stand there, and it's all good. As long as they say I could come in, I'm good. So then I saw them go and bring in the public. So there was about 22 public individuals could come in. That means anybody who's a public, who's not a reporter, who doesn't have a reporter pass. They were able to come in, and they gave them yellow passes, and it was about 22 people, right? And they sat them when you go into the courthouse, because I was inside the courtroom with Luigi. So when you know something I forgot to do? Guys, give me a second. I forgot to make this into well, I'm not going to say anything. I don't think I'm going to say anything that's inappropriate. But I forgot to change this into a no kids. I don't know, because I'm not going to say anything inappropriate. So I'm going to leave it. If TikTok decides to change it. They could change it. Because I'm not going to say anything appropriate. I mean, kids needs to know what's going on in the real world anyway. So anyway, so they let the public in first. It was about 22 people. They went in. When we went inside, I saw that they had the public on the right-hand side, last 2 rows. And when I went inside, I saw a lot of reporters there. So I was like, oh, that's where the reporters were. So I got a lot of reporters who came in early. They got their green pass, and they were already inside waiting. So I thought that the hearing was going to start at 9 o'clock. Other reporters said it was supposed to start at 10. It really didn't really start until about maybe 10:45, which is, to me, is ridiculous. You have people sitting there and stuff like that. It was so frustrating because nobody's making any announcement or anything. So it started around 10:45. The judge came in. He came in and stuff like that, and he looked like a regular guy. He just looked like there was no energy, no negative energy. Because when I went to the Diddy trial, and I was in the courtroom with Diddy, I just felt like a lot of bad energy. Like, I felt really uncomfortable being in the room with him. But with Luigi, he's just a regular guy, which is like crazy, but it is what it is. Also, he was clean shaven, so he looked like a young kid, like a young teen, right? So all of his lawyers was there. The most frustrating thing, okay. So there's a picture of him right here. I see it. So it wasn't a checkered t-shirt. It was a box t-shirt. And it does look like he has a gray suit on. That he has on. Let's see. So really, what really stressed us out initially when we were there is the fact that it took the production team, the prosecutor, I believe there was the prosecutor, forever to set up the damn laptop. I'm like, yo, what the hell? The judge is sitting there, and they can't figure out how to set up the laptop. They can't figure out the cord. The defense team is set. They're just sitting there waiting. And the prosecutor team look like there's 2 young males. One look older than the other one. Are fumbling and trying to move tables so they can put their laptop so they can plug it in. I'm guessing so that everyone could see what is on the laptop and they could actually share it on the screen. It was the craziest nonsense I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, yo, what is happening? So, took us forever to start. And then they brought the first witness, which is hold on one second. I just want to make sure I get his name properly. Detective Chris. I want to make sure I get it. Hold on a second. I have it. Okay, Christopher Malafin. Okay. So the first witness was Christopher Malafin. He's a sergeant. And of course, the defense were the first one to say, we object to this witness. We don't know what the relevance is. So he took the witness stand, and I guess Prosecutor Joel Seidemann played a video of the incident allegedly depicting Luigi actually pew-pewing more than once. And they showed the actual incident. Okay, they showed the actual video. So everybody was in the room and they saw that. So the prosecutor is making sure that they establish that Luigi is the actual suspect. They're doing everything. So the first witness is the one that submitted or sent out or is the face for the NYPD to the public. So his job is to send out image, story, follow-up through the media, regular media, ABC, NBC, MSNBC, who is now MS Now, and other media, also social media posts on Instagram, Twitter, and stuff like that. That's his job. So that's who they were actually talking to today. So I think the prosecutor, Joel Seiderman, is doing everything he can to make sure that there was no doubt that the person that they have there is the one that actually did it. Okay? So they said that they also had Bernard Powles, who worked for the company that installed the security camera at McDonald's. He testified, and he was actually retrieved footage for the police officer. Now, after the first witness, I had to leave because I have to go to work. So I wasn't able to get there to see the other witnesses. Also, I was planning to go back during lunch, but I felt so horrible that I just had to go home. I have to go home to lay down because I feel so horrible right now. So anyway. So I guess the next person to talk to, but not out. I'm sorry, guys, for coughing. All right, so Paul testified. He said, we were told there was an arrest made and they need the footage. We were looking for a certain individual in the footage in order to cut out the pieces they needed. On December 9th, McDonald's camera allegedly captured Luigi ordering from a kiosk, waiting at the counter and picking up his order. Luigi is allegedly seen in a different camera carrying his food, taking a seat to the back corner, table wiping it down. The individual that police identified as Luigi remained at the table 25 minutes before the camera showed police officer arriving and confronting him. You see, the thing is, the defense attorney is trying to get a lot of these videos and evidence thrown out. The defense is saying that they didn't read him his Miranda rights the first 17 minutes of talking to him. So anything that he said during the first 17 minutes should be wiped out because they didn't read his Miranda rights. So that's the first thing. Other things, they said that the police officers, because they didn't read his Miranda right, they actually according to them, illegally seized his bag, right? They illegally seized his bag and looked through it. So they're trying to get all that evidence because they're saying that in there he testified. I mean, he wrote that he was going to do it, and based on his writing, they felt it was like a manifesto. Based on his writing, they felt that that he's the right person. So again, the prosecutor is trying to prove that it's him with no doubt, and the feds is trying to get everything thrown out. So the defense attorney argued that Altoni police officer questioned Luigi for 20 minutes before reading him his rights and also searched his backpack without a warrant. Exactly. So now the news is saying 20 minutes, but they said 17 minutes. So again, in the courthouse on the right-hand side of the court, there was a bunch of people, and I'm guessing that it is Luigi's supporters in the back row, right? So they were back there. I didn't hear anything. I think everybody was pretty much calm and quiet. You know, they were talking about right here that there were people that had T-shirts. I'm surprised they allowed them to have their T-shirts that says anything, because sometimes the courts are very specific that you can't wear anything. But there was one person that wore a T-shirt that says "Justice is not a spectacle," you know, and stuff like that. And Luigi was sitting there smiling. He just was chilling. They had two officers behind him, but he just was relaxed. I've never seen anything like it. There's no nervous, not even a nervous bone in his body. He just seemed cool. Everybody around him just seemed relaxed, you know? So, I'm looking at ABC report. So if you want to hear more, you could go to ABC News and report. It said, though no trial date has been set for either Luigi state or federal criminal case, and I have to say we are right now at the state case, not the federal. We are the state case. The outcome of this week's hearing will determine the shape of the case. With Luigi and his lawyer will face a trial. So they're really trying to get as much stuff thrown out before the trial, right? They're trying to limit key evidence, and they're trying to do everything they can to get rid of the writing that was in his bag, or at least limit it. One of the things that they did win on, meaning the defense team won on, is that they allow him to come in regular clothes. So he's not coming in any jail attire. He's actually coming in regular clothes. So yeah, they had that. So they're saying that in the book that he had, which they call the Manifesto, he wrote, "I finally feel confident about what I will do." He allegedly wrote, "The target is insurance. It checks every box." So they're saying this is why he did what he did. So there's going to be hearing this whole week in New York State Supreme Court. He will be charged with second-degree, unalivement. So follows a legal victory. I guess there was a legal victory defense when the judge in September tossed two unalivement charge and other offenses, as well as separate sorry guys, criminal case in federal court. I am so sorry guys. I just want to make sure I get this report out to you guys, and then after that I'm going to go lay down. So I apologize for coughing so hard. If convicted, he may face a potential life sentence, and he could also face an unalivement in a federal case. So yeah, so that's where we are. The person that apparently he unalived, his name is Thompson, and he worked with UnitedHealthcare before being named the CEO, I'm sorry. And it happened outside the Midtown Hotel, and it happened he was arrested on December 9th at McDonald's in Alton after someone reported seeing a suspicious male that looked like the person that did the incident in New York. So it goes on to say, defense lawyer trying to bar prosecutor from using any of the evidence recovered from the backpack. I told you that, right? In the backpack, it included an electric device, a 3D printer pew-pew, a silencer, and a journal, as well as reference any statement Luigi made to police. Lawyers with the Manhattan District Attorney Office are defending the lawlessness. Why would they put lawfulness? Oh, I thought lawlessness. I'm sorry, lawfulness of the arrest and search, and are expected to argue that evidence would have eventually been recovered during the discovery phase ahead of the trial. I'm just very surprised that the officers did not read his Miranda right. They were probably just so damn excited to find them that they just was ridiculous. You need to stop getting these people, these new officers, to do these jobs, because this is ridiculous. Everybody know you have to read the Miranda right. What are you doing? So anyway, I said, despite the gravest of circumstances for Luigi, law enforcement has methodically and purposely trampled his constitutional right, or whatever. His defense attorney argued in their motion. It's going to be a movie, especially if Mark is there as an attorney. It's going to be a movie. The defense lawyer argued the constitutional issue began almost immediately after officers approached and Luigi, who was sitting at McDonald's to have breakfast. After Luigi allegedly provided officers his fake driver's license, they immediately began questioning Luigi about whether he was recently in New York and why he lied about his identity. The defense lawyer says, as he was questioned, the first lawyer says officers filled the restaurant to form an armed human wall, trapping Luigi at the back of the restaurant. Citing timestamp police body cam footage. Luigi attorney alleges police waited 20 minutes to read the Miranda rights and intensely questioned him without informing him he was under investigation, that he had the right to remain silent. They have asked the New York State Supreme Court Judge Gregory Carraro to prevent prosecutor from introducing any evidence or testimony related to what they say was illegal interrogation at the McDonald's. They're just trying to throw away everything. They're trying to get old boy out. Defense lawyers also contended that an officer illegally searched Luigi's bag while he was being interrogated, eventually discovering a loaded magazine and a pew-pew. Despite another officer commenting, at this point, we probably need a search warrant for the bag. Yeah, hello? What the fuck y'all doing? Excuse my language. Y'all should have done the bag. Why? Y'all should have just stopped. Anyway, Luigi attorney argued that the officer continued searching the bag and claimed she was trying to make sure there wasn't any boom boom stuff in there or anything in there. The officer did not search the bag because she reasonably thought there might be a pow, but rather this was an excuse designed to cover up an illegal warrantless search of the backpack, they argued. The made-up boom boom claim further showed that even she believed at the time that there were constitutional issues with her search, forcing her to attempt to salvage this debacle by making this spurious claim. They had people outside with signs that says "Free Luigi, never lose the plot." He has some supporters out there, most definitely. Luigi attorney argued that any of the items recovered from the backpack, including the alleged writing and pew-pew, should be limited as fruit of a legal search. I wonder what the judge is going to do about that. Ahead of the hearing, the defense attorney had preview plans to call at least 2 witnesses from the Alterno Police Department during an unrelated court hearing last week. One of Luigi's attorney claimed that the hearing could include more than a dozen witnesses and hours of body cam footage, so it's going to take a while to go through this. Judge Carrera has set aside 7 days beginning Monday to hear arguments about whether the testimony and evidence can be suppressed. So that's what we're here for. This is a pre-hearing to see if any evidence can be suppressed or thrown out. The defense is trying very hard to get as much stuff thrown out as possible, whereas the prosecutor is trying to keep it in. And that's it. After that, while the officer, Christopher, was talking, I got up and I left. And that's it. It was very quiet and very calm. There was no drama, no nothing, no yelling. The only thing that was frustrating is the long wait that we had to wait for the court to start. I thought it was silly. They should have had this thing already scheduled and locked down. But other than that, everything seemed to go fine. All right. Anyway, thank you guys for stopping by and seeing. I don't see anybody have any questions, so I'm just going to log off. Hope you guys have a great day. All right, take care. Okay, bye-bye.